Good day everyone, this is Margie Gaviola and together with my partner Rowena Sumayang, and today we are going to discuss about learner with learning disabilities with dyslexia. Before we proceed, the objectives are: what is learning disability, what is dyslexia, the four types of dyslexia and its causes, symptoms, and complications. What is learning disability? Learning disabilities may be defined in practical, medical, and legal terms. The common theme in all three definitions is that a learning disability is a disorder in one or more basic psychological processes that may manifest itself as an imperfect ability in certain areas of learning, such as reading, written expression, or mathematics. What is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a learning disorder that involves difficulty reading due to problems identifying speech, sounds, and learning how they relate to letters and words, or decoding. Also called reading disability. Dyslexia affects areas of the brain that process language. There are four types of dyslexia. First is phonological dyslexia. This is also called dysphonetic or auditory dyslexia. People with this type of dyslexia have difficulty processing the sounds of the individual letters and syllables and cannot match them with the written forms. Second is dyssurface dyslexia. This is also called dyseidetic or visual dyslexia. This type of dyslexia is marked by difficulty recognizing whole words, which probably results from vision issues or visual processing difficulties in the brain. With trouble recognizing the words, these people may have a hard time learning and memorizing words. The third one is the rapid naming deficit. The person finds it difficult to name a letter, number, color, or object quickly and automatically. The processing speed is low and takes time to name them. And the last one is the double deficit dyslexia. The person with double deficit dyslexia shows deficits in both the phonological process and naming speed. The majority of the weakest readers fall under this category. The causes of dyslexia is that dyslexia tends to run in families. It appears to be linked into certain genes that affect how the brain processes reading and language, as well as risk factors in the environment. Risk factors include a family history of dyslexia or other learning disabilities, and premature birth or low birth weight, and the exposure during pregnancy to nicotine, drugs, alcohol, or infections that may alter brain development in the fetus. And the last one is the individual differences in the parts of the brain that enable reading.
Signs of dyslexia can be difficult to recognize before your child enters school, but some early clues may indicate a problem. Once your child reaches school age, your child's teacher may be the first to notice a problem. Severity varies, but the condition often becomes apparent as a child starts learning to read. And before school, dyslexia signs that a young child may be at risk of dyslexia will include like late talking, learning new words slowly, problems forming words correctly, such as reversing sounds in words or confusing words that sound alike, problems remembering or naming letters, numbers, and colors, difficulty learning nursery rhymes or playing rhyming games. In school age, once your child is in school, Dyslexia signs and symptoms may become more apparent, including reading well below the expected level for age, problems processing and understanding what he or she hears, difficulty finding the right word or forming answers to questions, problems remembering the sequence of things, and difficulty seeing, like occasionally hearing similarities and differences in letters and words. And next is inability to sound out the pronunciation of an unfamiliar word. The next is difficulty spelling. Then spending an unusually long time completing tasks that involve reading and writing. And avoiding activities that involve reading. In teens and adults, dyslexia signs in teens and adults are similar to those in children. Some common dyslexia signs and symptoms in teens and adults include difficulty of reading, which include the reading aloud, then slow and labor-intensive reading and writing. Then next is problem spelling and avoiding activities that involve reading, and mispronouncing names or words, or problems retrieving words, and trouble understanding jokes or expressions that have a meaning that not easily understood from the specific words, such as piece of cake, meaning AC, spending an unusually long time completing tasks that involve reading or writing. Then next is difficulty summarizing a story. Then trouble learning a foreign language. And next is difficulty memorizing and difficulty doing math problems. The complications of dyslexia can lead to a number of problems which include the trouble learning, because reading is a skill basic to most other school subjects. A child with dyslexia is at a disadvantage in most classes and may have trouble keeping up with peers. Then, next is the social problems. Left untreated, dyslexia may lead to low self-esteem, behavior problems, anxiety, aggression, and withdrawal from friends, parents, and teachers. Then last is the problems as adults. The inability to read and comprehend can prevent a child from reaching his or her potential as the child grows up. This can have long-term educational, social, and economic consequences. Overall, people with dyslexia have normal intelligence and usually have normal vision. Most children with dyslexia can succeed in school with tutoring or a specialized education program. Emotional support also plays an important role. Though there is no cure for dyslexia, early assessment and intervention result in the best outcome. Sometimes dyslexia goes undiagnosed for years and isn't recognized until adulthood, but it's never too late to seek help.